Hi, this is davidinark, and this is a quick video on how to make sure that your Zoom is set up so that you don't get Zoom bombed when you're teaching class or frankly just hanging out having a Zoom. So once you go to zoom.us and you get signed in, you're going to go to settings, and there are a slew of settings down the column here, and there are some things you want to check. There's an option for join before host. Turn that off. That way people have to wait for you to sign in. There's another option for only authenticated users that can join meetings. That's fine, but that means they have to have a Zoom account. People under 18 are not allowed to have Zoom accounts, so watch for that. There's a setting to require a password when you're scheduling a new meeting. Turn that on. That way a password is required. There is another one where the embedded password is part of the link that you mail out. Turn that off. That way you have to send the link and the password as two separate emails, at least hopefully. Okay. There are other things like chat. Allow the participants to send messages to everyone. That's normal. That's fine. But you can turn off the private chat. That way people can't send private messages to each other. There's also a setting to auto save chats. I wholeheartedly recommend turning that on. That way you have a copy of all of the chats. If you're going to have a co-teacher or a co-host, you can turn that on. Also, you can allow the host to put an attendee on hold. Basically, that's like putting them in timeout. It separates them from the rest of the group should you need that. There's another setting here for screen sharing. If you have this set up so that only the host can share the screen, then no one else can post any pictures or anything else into your Zoom session. All right, so just leave that on host only. No one else can share. That's how that goes. There's also a thing here for annotations. So if you're using annotations, you can turn off the ability for your participants to write on your annotations. Also the same thing with the whiteboard. That way no one can write inappropriate things or post inappropriate things. You also want to turn off remote control so that no one can take over your computer. There's an option for breakout rooms. There's an option where you can actually remove people from your Zoom if they're acting up. Turn off the feature for them to allow to rejoin, so you can turn that off. You also want to turn off virtual backgrounds. Yes, they're cute and they're fun. However, if someone chooses an inappropriate background, you have no control over that. So disable virtual backgrounds, problem solved. There are some other settings here. There's a waiting room. If the waiting room is turned on and you turn it on for all participants, that means you have to approve whoever's coming in. So if there's somebody who's joining and you don't recognize them, don't let them in. It is that simple. So these are the things that you can do quick and dirty in the settings of Zoom itself in order to help protect your online sessions. Now, in addition to these things, you can also change some of these things for individual meetings. So if I go over to meetings and I schedule a new meeting, you will see certain things are done for you. For example, a password has already been generated. The video is off for host and participants. There are other options here. Again, you can change those if you need to or want to. Frankly, the more secure your environment is, the better off you're going to be. So it is that easy to set up and make sure that your Zoom is protected from outside influences. By the way, most of these settings are already set by Zoom. They fixed them. So all this stuff you see floating around about Zoom's not protected and it's wide open and blah, blah, blah. No. It's all hooey, it's been fixed, and you now know what to do to protect yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.